Alright, yeah. Hey guys, Cryptic here, and I thought I would try out the game Night Call. I don't really know much about this game other than it's like a neo-noir type game in France. So, there are 5 save slots. I also know that apparently. So let's get into the game, see if we look. Oh, wait. Choose the investigation. The judge, the angel of death, Sandman. Surprise me. Choose the difficulty mode. Story, balanced, or hard. We'll go balanced, I guess. Let's just middle it out. Yep, know nothing about this game really. But I do like playing games I know nothing about. Because sometimes you get to be surprised with a good one. Although I do have to say, when it comes to games and movies and that, the noir style is probably one of my favourites. So cool. Okay. The intro told me nothing at all. Oh. Here? Sir, can hear me or do I need to speak up? Um, I'm not sure I understand. I just want you to be comfortable. You can always change your mind. The voice is female, husky and warm. You find it deeply comforting. Do you want me to speak in normal, medium, or loud voice? As loud as possible. And now, is this okay? Sure, I guess. She takes a deep breath. Sir, you just spent 2 weeks in a coma. Okay. The word bounces around your head. You need a moment to understand its meaning. Coma? The word scratches along your throat. Yes, you are the victim of an assault. Okay. The word resonates in your head. Victim. You are aware a serial killer is currently on the loose in Paris. You feel the contents of your stomach crawling up your throat. The killer in the media are calling the angel of death, stuck a knife in your right side and hit several organs. To be frank, you were in a terrible state when they brought you in, and we were obligated to put you in an induced. Her voice becomes more distant. Fades. You taste bile in the back of your mouth. Your head is burning. You hear a whistle in one ear. Your fingers move to your wound. Underneath the bandages, you can feel hard skin. It is incredibly painful. Did they... I'm sorry? Did they catch the angel? No. What about my passenger? He was dead before you even got out of your cab. The doctor is silent for a second. A very awkward second. She hesitates. The police would like to see you as soon as possible, to ask you some questions. Technically, you're the only person to have survived the Angel of Death. Noise in the hallway attracts your attention, but you try to turn your head to no avail. You need to rest. She leaves the room. Her voice resonates in the hallway. I don't care. He's the only witness. Another female voice joins in. A strong, authoritarian voice. You can't clearly make out what she's saying. A strange feeling washes over you. It's not pain, not fatigue, some odd combination of the two. Before being in the hospital room, you'd never realized that anger was made up of a combination of pain and exhaustion. Anger. A feeling you know all too well. Days go by, and a month later, night 1. Well, look, I've got a bit of a problem. A real problem, that is. You have a pounding headache. It's your first night behind the wheel since the attack. Are you listening to me? You catch your boss's eyes in the rearview mirror. Yeah, I'm listening. He stares at you for a second or two without speaking. Sometimes I wonder what goes on inside your head. You always seem so far away. I'm listening. Okay. He's watching you closely, trying to make out what's going on in your head. You know I'm worried about you, don't you? I know. You're like a son to me, you know? I know. And you know he's about to tell you the story of his taxi fleet. Again. When your father died and left me the store, I could have sold it. I could have retired. Gone back to the old country. I'll let him talk. But I decided to start a cab fleet with the money he left me. To hire the guys from the neighborhood. And that's why I've got 45 guys like you working for me. His hands flutter in the air. Though none of them are any match for you. He smiles. His voice suddenly takes a serious note. Do you want me to go over everything again? He points to the equipment on the dashboard, the meter and GPS. This is some interesting music. It just started picking up. You haven't been in the taxi for weeks. Maybe you do need a little refresher? Yeah, give me a tutorial. Right then. Well, first the map. You spot potential customers and try to guess where they'll be going, then you decide. Wait, a taxi driver has to guess where they're going? Alright. When a customer orders a taxi, if there's no one else around, you have to go pick them up. He shrugs. That's the way it goes. It's business. No problem. The other fee is you look at the map and decide whether or not you want to take them. Then you drive. He flashes a quick mechanical smile. You know it well. When he talks about work, he talks about work. That's all. When the shift is over, we do the numbers, and his voice trails off as if searching for the right words. And that's all. That's pretty simple. There's no reason why you can't do it. Alright. No overtime. We're in France here, and there are rules, regulations. You might not see it that way, but no one likes having a driver who hasn't slept for 24 hours. He looks away. Something's been bothering him since he got into the cab. Anyhow, you know the ropes. You get it. I know you're going to do a good job. What's the matter? Your boss keeps quiet for a while, as if he's hesitant to speak, and then... I don't think it's a good idea. You shouldn't be driving. The murderer is still out there, and we think he's going to come back. For you. We? Your colleagues. I do too. Anyway, I'll let you get back to work. Every minute spent in your taxi is a minute lost. He gives a smile. Half ironic, half serious. Have a good evening. The sarcasm in his voice is palpable. Oh man, this is another game that's going to test my vocabulary. Alright, palpable. Right. You have a good evening too. He'll spend the rest of the night dealing with problems and drivers. You wonder how and when the guy ever gets any sleep. Your boss opens the door and exits the cab. You watch him cross the street and enter the fleet garage. A couple of colleagues are milling about. Taxis are coming and going. They all ignore you. Consciously or unconsciously. You are branded. You sit there a moment, then turn the key in the ignition. The hum of the engine sends a tinkle down your spine. It's impossible to describe how you miss that feeling. It's back to the night shift, back to life. Despite the attack, despite it all. I didn't realize I was going to be doing so much goddamn talking in this game. Alright. Okay, I got attacked by a serial killer. I was in a coma for a while. It's been a month and I'm back at work. Being a taxi driver. Let's go pick up this person here because they're nice and close. It's definitely not what I expected of this game. That's a long distance. Yeah, I guess so. I don't know what I'm doing. The door opens and your next passenger, a woman, jumps into the back seat. I think she's speaking French. Rue de Levis. Levis? Her voice is shaking. Her mind is elsewhere. Please. You start driving. In the rearview mirror, you notice your passenger is shivering. She is clutching a rose of her hand, like it might otherwise fly away. Do you want me to turn the heat up? She doesn't hear your question. Miss? No. No? No, I said no. No heat. Finally, she looks at you. He asked me to marry him, and I said no. He had everything planned. He put the ring in my champagne flute, and I said no. She blinks her eyes very slowly. I don't know why I said no. Why? Her expression becomes scornful, aggressive. You don't like him? Maybe. I don't love him. She looks hard at you for a second. No. No, we've been together since senior year. That can't be it. Something so strong between us, like a song. She realizes what she's saying doesn't make much sense. Sorry, really, She looks back quickly. Her voice breaks. I have to go back to the restaurant. Getting married is what I've always wanted. So why did I say no? You get the impression that she's shrinking. She looks tiny and fragile in the rearview mirror. Shit. Shit. I just said shit. Her face looks like she's been in a brutal accident. We have to turn around. Now. You sure? She raises her voice. Of course I'm sure. She's practically screaming. What, She stops just in time, shuts her mouth, looks away. She doesn't dare look at you. I am so sorry. I'm not myself tonight. No worries. Really, I'm sorry. I don't know who I am. She's putting on ears now. I don't know what that means. I'm a total wreck. Like someone shook me. Like... Please, turn the cab around. Will do. Thanks. But she decides not to finish her sentence after all. As soon as you can, you turn around. In the back seat, your passenger can't bear to look at you. She stays her hands instead. You drive on in silence. It's strange, but you like that odd feeling of going back over the same road. Everything seems so different. The buildings have a different perspective. You see them in a new, unexpected light. The passersby is no longer the same. They've been replaced by others. The lights are on a different cycle, like they know you're coming back. A few seconds later, without even noticing the ground you've covered, you pull over in front of the restaurant you just came from. She throws you a shy, almost indiscernible smile. God, these big words. Can I ask you a favor? You nod slowly. Don't ever repeat what I said. Who exactly do you think I would tell? Your colleagues? Your friends? Your wife? Who the hell knows? Not a word about... She can't finish her sentence. Not a word. And in a whisper she adds, thanks. She pays her fare, gets out of the cab, walks up to the restaurant. She's trying to catch someone's eye. She stands on tiptoe for a little while. Suddenly, her face lights up. She runs into the restaurant, rose in hand. I guess I wait a while. Another minute to think about her beautiful gown, her words, how she shook. Getting married. For a second you try to remember your own marriage proposal. It all seems so far away. So very far away. You turn the key in the ignition and drive away. Okay, I thought something else was going to happen if I chilled. I made money. Okay, so yeah, okay, this one is blinking. I think this is more or less the game. I'm not entirely sure. I don't know if it's going to get like more intense or anything, but we'll see what happens. So far I'm enjoying it. It's a nice chilled out game, and this person's going to the other side of the goddamn town. Cherie, it's me. Would you like to try to say that name? Apollonie. Alright, The woman getting into the cab is a regular, and a suspect. Though you haven't seen her for a while. She always makes me feel uncomfortable. She claims to be... I'm thirsty. A vampire. Where to? So thirsty. I have no idea what's going on tonight. Oh, I'm absolutely parched. And I'm sick of going to the Belvedere? Belvedere? Again and again. What a bore. Of course, I love the place. The decor reminds me of the old plantation. But it's become so routine. And when a routine sets in, you're a goner. You give her a quick look. No, Sherry, not literally. Don't look at me that way. The thing is, I'm looking for something fresh, full of life. With a good strong heart, nice and strong. A little gay guy who works in advertising, a vegan, addicted to MDMA. Do you know where I can find one? A chill runs down your spine. What if you couldn't find the right kind of bar? Think about it. The only thing you can think of is Carter, a nightclub in Saint Warren? Oh, God knows, I'm probably butchering these names. You've known about for years. Maybe not what she's looking for, but definitely a young crowd and lots of atmosphere. Mention Carter? I know a place just north of Paris called Carter. Just north of Paris. I don't mind the suburbs. Why not? Might be interesting. I never go to that part of town ever. Not my usual stomping grounds. My kinfolk in the area are extremely aggressive. But why not? Carter it is. You start the cab. The scenery starts to unfold. The passenger seems to have lost interest in you. It's the second or third time you've picked her up. She's told you her life story every time. Could she really be a vampire? You'd rather not ask. You hear a slight cough. How long have we known each other now? A few months, I guess. I take more cabs in the summer, that's for sure. I have to stay more on my toes. A knowing wink. I used to have a driver. Suddenly her head seems to be elsewhere. What happened to him? She smiles. Something awful. Retirement. A burst of laughter. There is a particular quality to her voice, as if someone else in the car were laughing alongside her. Anyhow, I can't afford to drive anymore. Human life is so pricey these days, Sherry. If you say so. Back when my mother was a slave, she was worth nothing, or near about so. Today, everything is worth something. We are all equal. She waves her hand before her face, then utters something in icy tones. Manti. Manti? A few moments go by. The passenger watches you in silence and then diverts her gaze, as if you were an animal. Does it bother you, having me as a passenger? No. Why do you ask? Because of who I am. Who are you? She smiles. You know very well who I am, Shuri. Shuri, I don't know. I'm probably butchering all these words. How you say them. She waves a hand. I won't bother you with that anymore. You already refused my offer twice. I won't insist. It takes more courage than you think. A faraway look comes over her. Though nowadays, people's lives are far too comfortable to make any radical changes. The imagination of a Parsi, Parisian begins and ends with starting over in the country, among the wildlife and the other livestock. There is a hint of sadness in her voice. What a pity. We could have had such a good time together, Sherry. There's no more talk until you pull up to the carter. You can immediately tell your passenger is disappointed. She hands you the fare and heaves a sigh. A provincial club, just outside of Paris. If only I had known. She waves her hand as if to silence you. But it's not your fault, Sherry. I know you try your best. Such is the way of the world. She sighs. A world that's changing all too quickly. We'll soon be old hat, left on the sidelines. She shrugs with a glance at her polished nails, gives you a smile, then pays for the ride. But I won't let it get me down. Wish them luck. With a wink, she walks over to a nondescript club. I have to stop reading because an achievement popped up right in front of the words. Good thing it won't show up in the recording. It looks pretty seedy. Shady characters are loitering in the parking lot. Your customer's unusual appearance gets a laugh from some of the youths. She doesn't let it deter her though. She steps resolutely through the door of the carter. Well, I made £33 or euro. The door suddenly opens and the woman gets into the back seat. Having a good night? For a second you freeze. You recognize one of the cops working on the Angel of Death's case. She grins at you. Her voice creaks. You remember seeing her at the hospital. Something already bothered you about her there. You know, it's actually pretty crazy. For weeks, I've been saying to myself, there's something off about you. Something not so nice. I dug around, mulled it over, bugged all my fellow cops about it. Because I was sure you lied to us. I didn't lie. She whistles to cut you off. Hey, I'm talking. She has a cold sneer on her face. I'm going to be frank with you. She leans over to you. I don't see how you could be the Angel of Death. All that staging just doesn't seem like your thing. Too meticulous for a taxi driver. She squints, like she's trying to make you out from far away. Like you'd have gone to the extent of hurting yourself. Yeah, between us, it's a bit of a stretch. She stares at you. But not enough of a stretch for my chief to stop going on and on about you. Seriously, he talks about you all the time. If I didn't know better, I'd think he had a crush on you. She smirks. No. I think he's more interested in your profile. In prison at 17? An icy chill fills your gut. And for murder too. You open your mouth but nothing comes out. Since you got out, you've kept a low profile, but you're lying about your name and your address. I checked. It's normal, you'd say. If they get word of your time served. No loan for your permit, no lease for your car. Meaning, no second chance at life. Her voice becomes softer, almost warm. I personally like guys who want a second chance. No, I like guys who fight for a second chance. Basically, I like guys who are willing to work for me. She leans forward, her shining cat-like eyes narrowing. My chief wants you to go to the prosecutor with a first and last name with evidence. Actually, knowing him, he's not so hot on evidence. So, I'll give you info. Victims, suspects, medical reports, some photos that are a bit... She makes a gagging noise. You have to be discreet. Keep between you and me. Interrogate, ask questions, dig around. I'm not a cop. She shrugs. Don't worry, you're already keener than half the squad. And don't forget, I'm not asking you to make an arrest and deliver the killer wrapped up in a bow in front of the station, okay? You're no Batman. You're just there to get me more information. She rummages around in her pockets for what seems like forever. Here, take my card. I'll call you in 4 days. Just to check in. We'll chat. And I'll let you know if I have any new info. She takes on a didactic paternalistic tone, I know that word. Like she was giving you a list of recommendations for the 100th time. Don't get caught, don't get arrested. Also, I wouldn't recommend trying to leave Paris. I know what you look like, I know who your friends are. You can either be the solution or the problem, my friend. She takes a minute to scan your face, your emotions. If I have to, I'll go check in on you-know-who. Her smile is biting. That reminds me. She know you've done time? You shake your head. She snickers. Oh, my little dirtbag. You cover your tracks well. What if I refuse? If you refuse... Simple. I turn you in. I'll send your picture to all my friends in the media. And every asshole in Paris. Your picture with your name on it. Your real name. Anyone close to you will have their places searched. They'll be put under house arrest, spend nights in jail. You have any idea how tense things are with that fucker's trial underway? You sigh. You know just what she's trying to get at. Come to think of it, your last names are almost the same. You could be brothers, actually. I'm nothing like that son of a bitch. She smiles. Let me tell you, with that face of yours and your handle, they'll welcome you with open arms. You have no right. I know. I know we have no right. She takes on a serious tone, businesslike. I want to catch this killer personally. I want to drag him to court, ruin his fucking life, with a bang. I can't botch this case, you got me? And neither can you, right? Obviously. Well, great then. We see eye to eye. So you can just say you're my informant, my CI. He ripped open your gut. You saw your own insides. You were in a coma. Yeah, you have plenty of reasons to want to get back at him. She furrows her brow. Yeah, I think you're actually going to do what I tell you to do. You investigate, ask questions, listen to all the rumours, and you come up with a list of suspects. She lays her hand on the door handle and freezes. Alright, and don't get fired. Without this cab, you're worth nothing to me. She's a bit of a bitch. You glare at her. Seconds. Fucking bitch. I can actually say it. Yeah, whatever. If that makes you feel better. She puts her hand up. She puts her hand up and you can hear the words behind it. This conversation never happened. I'll make sure you get more intel tomorrow. I'll find a way. Until then, not a word to anyone. Obviously. Not a word. The door opens, squeaks, and slams shut. You sit alone for a while, teeth clenched, dry-eyed, ears buzzing. Shit. On the back seat, the cop left a pile of papers. Shit. Key in the ignition, motor running. Radio on, crackles. You turn it off and start driving. Talking to passengers might unlock new documents and clues for your investigation. You'll find them back at your studio after your shift. Alright, so I am now investigating my own attempted murder. I've got to help find a serial killer, otherwise I'm going to get arrested. Alright, my cop was a bit of a bitch about it all. Well, let's start to call her a fucking bitch. That made me laugh. Alright. You take a second to enjoy the silence of your studio apartment. Outside, the city is slowly waking up. You can still hear the hum of the taxi buzzing in your ears. You throw the files Busset gave you on the table. On the wall you hung up the big corkboard where you used to pin up photos of your nephews. They've been gone since you got out of... Your plan is simple. Jot down all the pieces of evidence and connect them to the suspects. The guilty party won't necessarily be the one with the most evidence against them, but the one with the most compelling evidence against them. Okay. It's like you're building a story about each suspect. Trying to understand their motives. Understand how he or she got into the situation. A bus goes by, making the wall shake. You sigh and get to work. So I'm actually going to be doing all the investigating on this. Okay. I can look at the board. These are my suspects. Gilda. Jonas. Apollonie. Period. And Hervey. I'll call him Herv. Alright. Herv's police file. I have to hold it. Huh? Oh, it comes that way. Okay, so I did all them before I bother going up there. Killer case. Police report victim 1. Victim 2. Victim 3. Okay, well, here we go. What does this one say? Killer. 1M80. I don't know what that means, but alright. Oh, height. 1m80. Alright. Jonas, a brilliant programmer for several startups and companies. Wrote books about simulation we're all living in. Destroyed evidence when the police started investigating. So that's his connection, is about the same height. They're all the same height apart from period. Right. Apollonie. Blurry past, weird woman. Probably a rich heir or something. Was born in the... Not gonna say that. Night owl. Second victim had garlic in her hand. Murderer's rituals. Possibly. Okay, MO. Slit throat, words written in blood. Blood missing. Break-in for crime scenes 1 and 3. She fits 3 of them. Okay, Gilda. Set designer for the opera. Was hospitalized after her mother's death. Difficult relationship with her dad. Also working on the opera. Catholic and a member of the Korean community in Paris. Okay, Lisa. Period. Chef in La Peri restaurant in Paris. In financial troubles. Was an activist when she was younger. Part of the Moonflesh cult. Well, that just puts her top of my list already. Killer case. Murder weapon was a fillet knife. Left spare key under doormat. Potentially knew the suspect. No. Homeless man with an unknown background. Briefly worked for Charles Brogan in the 90s. Got health issues after Rickerton health scandal. Ricktoden health scandal. A couple of arrests for breaking and entering. He's got a lot of connections so far. Harry suspected of many break-ins. Allegedly robbed fishmonger. Kitchen window left open by a victim. So far my money's on one of these two. He had access to the right kind of weapon. And is part of a cult. No, nothing on my desk, and we don't have enough information, so in the night. With a heavy hand, you wipe your tired face. You open the sofa bed and lie down. The events of the day run through your head. The streets, the passengers, their faces, their problems. Alright, well that was night 1. You open one eye. Someone flushes the toilet and you hear the pipes shake. One of them runs under your bed. You find the sound calming. You get up quickly. A few minutes later, you're outside your studio. Night 2. Alright. Oh, there's a lot of things. Oh, there's, yeah, I'm gonna pause it here. Then I'm gonna leave this one here. And, yeah. I will be playing some more of this. But I'll probably keep it to one night a video. Sounds like that should be good enough, or long enough. I have a feeling the rest of the night's going to be a bit longer than this one. Because some of the time was skipped. But yeah. I'm actually enjoying this game. I like the story to it, and I wasn't expecting to actually have to investigate things myself. And like I said earlier, I love the art style. I love the noir style. Alright, so yeah, if you guys enjoyed the video, make sure you leave a like. Feel free to leave a comment down below. Let me know your thoughts, or if you suspect one of those five, let me know which one you think it is. And if you want to see more videos in the future, just make sure you hit subscribe. And other than that, guys, catch everyone later.